Football, the world's most popular sport, has captivated both players and spectators alike. In this captivating YouTube video, we delve into the reasons behind football's immense popularity and its global reach. From its simple rules and minimal equipment requirements to its versatility in terms of playing locations, football has become accessible to people from all walks of life. Join us as we explore the fascinating history and evolution of football, shedding light on the governing body of the sport, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association. With an estimated 250 million football players worldwide and a staggering 1.3 billion individuals expressing their interest in the sport, it's clear that football has truly become a universal language. We also delve into the excitement and grandeur of the quadrennial World Cup finals, which attract billions of viewers from around the globe. Discover the passion, drama, and unforgettable moments that make the World Cup a truly unparalleled sporting event. Whether you're a die-hard football fan or simply curious about the sport's global impact, this video is a must-watch. Join us as we celebrate the beautiful game and its ability to unite people from all corners of the world. Football is a sport where two teams consisting of 11 players each aim to move the ball into the opposing team's goal using any part of their bodies except their hands and arms. The only player allowed to touch the ball with their hands is the goalkeeper, and they can do so only within the penalty area surrounding the goal. The team that manages to score more goals emerges as the winner. Football is a ball game that holds the title of being the most popular sport in the world, both in terms of participants and spectators. Its simplicity in terms of rules and equipment makes it accessible to play in various locations, ranging from official football fields to gymnasiums, streets, school playgrounds, parks, and even beaches. The origins of history. British origin of modern football dates back to the 19th century. Prior to this, games known as folk football were played in towns and villages, following local customs and with minimal rules. The rise of industrialization and urbanization led to a decrease in leisure time and space for the working class, while legal restrictions against violent forms of folk football further undermined the game's status. However, football became popular as a winter sport among residential houses and public schools like Winchester, Charterhouse, and Eton. Each school had its own set of rules, some allowing limited handling of the ball and others not. This variation in rules made it challenging for public schoolboys to continue playing once they entered university, except with their former schoolmates. In 1843, an initial attempt to standardize and codify the rules of football took place at the University of Cambridge. The Cambridge Rules were adopted by most public schools in 1848 and were further spread by Cambridge graduates who formed football clubs. Subsequently, a series of meetings in 1863 involving clubs from London and neighboring counties resulted in the establishment of printed football rules that prohibited ball carrying. As a result, the game of rugby, which allowed handling, remained outside the newly formed Football Association. By 1870, the FA had prohibited all forms of ball handling except by the goalkeeper. However, the new regulations faced resistance in Britain, as many clubs in and around Sheffield chose to maintain their own set of rules. Sheffield, a city in northern England, was not only the birthplace of the first provincial club to join the FA in 1867 but also the founding location of the Sheffield Football Association, which later paved the way for county associations. In 1866, Sheffield and London clubs engaged in two matches under the revised rules, while a year later, a match between a Middlesex club and one from Kent and Surrey was played using the same regulations. In 1871, 15 FA clubs accepted an invitation to participate in a cup competition and contribute to the acquisition of a trophy. By 1877, the associations across Great Britain had reached a consensus on a standardized code, with 43 clubs competing, and the initial dominance of London clubs had waned. Development of modern football in Victorian Britain. The development of modern football in Victorian Britain was closely linked to the processes of industrialization and urbanization. As a result of these changes, the working-class individuals in industrial towns and cities gradually abandoned their traditional rural pastimes like badger baiting and sought out new forms of collective leisure activities. This shift can be attributed to the increasing availability of Saturday afternoons off work for industrial workers from the 1850s onwards. Consequently, many of them started either playing or watching the new game of football. To facilitate the growth of football, key urban institutions like churches, trade unions, and schools played a significant role in organizing recreational football teams for working-class boys and men. The rise in adult literacy during this period led to greater press coverage of organized sports, including football. Furthermore, the development of transport systems such as railways and urban trams made it easier for players and spectators to travel to football games. The popularity of football soared during this time, as evidenced by the steadily increasing attendance numbers. In England, the average attendance rose from 4,600 in 1888 to 7,900 in 1895, further increasing to 13,200 in 1905. By the outbreak of World War I, football had gained immense popularity with an average attendance of 23,100. This surge in football's popularity had a significant impact on public interest in other sports, particularly cricket, which saw a decline in attention. In the 1870s, leading clubs, particularly those in Lancashire, began implementing admission fees for spectators, despite the FA's amateurism rule. These clubs were able to offer under-the-table wages to attract highly skilled working-class players, many of whom hailed from Scotland. The working-class players and clubs from northern England advocated for a professional system that would provide some financial compensation for their broken time lost from their regular jobs and the risk of injuries. However, the FA remained steadfast in its elitist approach, upholding the policy of amateurism to preserve the influence of the upper and upper-middle class over the game. In 1884, the issue of professionalism in England reached a critical point when the FA expelled 2 clubs for employing professional players. However, the payment of players had become so widespread by then that the FA had little choice but to approve the practice a year later, despite initial efforts to limit professionalism to compensations for lost time. As a result, northern clubs, with their large fan bases and ability to attract top players, gained prominence. With the rise of working-class players in football, the upper classes turned to other sports, particularly cricket and rugby union. The introduction of professionalism also led to further modernization of the game through the establishment of the Football League in 1888, enabling the top 12 teams from the North and Midlands to compete against each other systematically. A second division was introduced in 1893, expanding the total number of teams to 28. In 1890, leagues were formed in Ireland and Scotland. The Southern League began in 1894 but later merged with the Football League in 1920. However, football did not become a highly profitable business during this period. Professional clubs primarily became limited liability companies to secure land for the gradual development of stadium facilities. While most clubs in England were owned and controlled by businessmen, shareholders received minimal, if any, dividends. Their main reward was an elevated public status gained through their involvement in running the local club. Later, other countries around the world adopted the British model of national leagues. These leagues included regular season championships, annual cup competitions, and a system of promotion and relegation. In the Netherlands, a league was established in 1889, but professionalism didn't come until 1954. Germany had its first national championship season in 1903, but it took another 60 years for the Bundesliga, a fully professional national league, to emerge. France, where the game was introduced in the 1870s, didn't have a professional league until 1932, following the adoption of professionalism in Argentina and Brazil in South America. We delve into the depths of extensive research and invest a significant amount of time to bring you valuable information. Our relentless dedication and hard work are aimed at delivering a high-quality outcome. We kindly request your support in our journey by liking, subscribing, and sharing our content. Your encouragement fuels our motivation to continue producing informative videos. Join us in our pursuit of knowledge and help us make a difference. Thank you for your support.